order, please. How many units do we need? 300 or 500? I believe it was you who I actually made a video response to. I just haven't posted it. I recorded it today. 300 units. 300 units for your first test run order, in my opinion. What's up, Luke? What's up, ASG? What's up with those numbers at the end of your name, son? I was going to say that, but I think that's bad juju. All right. So I just posted a video, last video that I posted on my TikTok. Y'all go watch it and drop in the comments what you think. But I was on a call. I got on a call with someone. Announcement update. Yes. We find out more Thursday. The lawyer's in trial, so there's gonna be a call Thursday night when he's out of trial, and we're going to discuss it. I talked about how I'm gonna mention the delays and explain them, and I'm going to. This particular delay I cannot publicly say. I know it's not funny, but I laughed. Laughed at what? Trial? Yeah, no, not any trial that has to do with me. Before we go through with this big announcement, which is going to be, I can't say too much details. It's a big announcement. We have to get some legal side things taken care of. But the lawyer who's going to take care of those legal things is in a completely unrelated, different client in a trial. So from morning to pretty much his day end, he's there. So until Thursday. So Thursday night, there's going to be a call. And then after his, again, separate, completely unrelated, different client trial, and then we'll see what's good. But I'm excited. I'm excited. It is going to be some fun stuff. But yeah, let's talk about that last video that I posted, son. What's up, Luke? What up, what up? Thank you, bro, of course. I know it's not funny, but I laughed. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The MLQ is 500. How do you convince the supplier to do 300? Negotiate it. Let them know that this is your first order, but that you're not a tire kicker. You plan to place a bigger order once you get proof of concept on Amazon. Don't let them think that this is your first rodeo, and make sure that you establish that you want a long-term business relationship in the future, and this would just be helping you out. Get the ball rolling. Was good, G. What up, FBA, my guy? Yo, what up, Rihan? Thoughts on launching supplement brand? It has pretty high CPC. Nah, man. Unless you've had some successful product launches under your belt and you have a good amount of capital that I'm going to say can throw away, but not literally. Just a lot of extra capital, then I would consider it. But as a new seller, first product, no. I have an LLC, America, so my business isn't linked to me, Luke Basha. It's linked to my business entity. Do you do smaller orders for variations as well? Yeah. So it's always, I haven't had a launch. Well, actually, that's not true. Okay. As a beginner, I have to always make sure, because some things contradict itself. I don't want to confuse you guys and gals. As a beginner, if I was going to launch a variation, it would still be max 300. So if I was going to do 300 units, 3 variations, it would be 100, 100, 100, not 300, 300, 300, because then you're at 900 units. Where it gets a little tricky, but I'm not even launching products like this, is like a bed sheet with multiple color and multiple size variations. So that, you don't want to if you had 300 units, but 10 variations, you don't want 30 units of each. That's not ideal. But again, I'm not launching products like that. Do you know what percentage of your organic sales come from TikTok traffic? No. I can tell you boosts that we've seen when we see viral videos on TikTok, or even 50K views, 10K views, but not this percentage year round is how much sales are attributed to that. How many products we launched during the first year? I mean, just focus on one product. Don't get ahead of yourself, because the reason behind that is, I'll give you guys a great example. I just launched a product. started with 300 units, and then we had to order 1,000 units. Those that we haven't even been in stock for a month, and we're already out of stock for one of our variations. The reason behind that is because it was our least performing variation the first go around, so we ordered less inventory. But then it somehow switched and became the most popular, which that normally doesn't happen. Anyways, so we have to place a $2,000 order. Now let's pretend that I didn't have extra capital to go dump into the business, and I was simply just using the money that I initially invested. If I'm going from 300 to 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 units, these are big jumps that are going to require a lot of cash flow. Why, if I have a winner that's requiring that much scale, why am I going to go put money that I otherwise need into a different product? Yes, you're going to run out of stock on your first order. Running out of stock on your very first order does not matter. Where it does matter is once you've gotten that proof of concept, you don't want to keep running out of stock. Like, you want to get back in stock and try to have, inventory at all times. 4K impressions today, 25 clicks, no sales. 25 divided by 4,000. So you don't even have a 0.01% CTR. How many reviews do you have would be my first question. Super low CTR, only 12 reviews. I would try to push that up to 20. I know I normally say like 10 to 15. I would try to push that up to 20. If you still have a low CTR, it's likely your main image, title, or price. I was just looking at a friend's account, and they have like a 7-figure business, thousands of reviews, can't get FNF, which is annoying. Yeah, because you're in Canada. Yeah, so you're kind of reliant on Vine. Message me. But so I'm looking, thousands of reviews, solid products, solid brand name. But they were like, we're seeing our revenue declining. So I dive into their account and I start looking. I'm doing this all as a favor. And I start looking and I'm like, conversion's good. Conversion's higher than category average. Reviews are solid. The one thing is the star rating for the reviews was not the best. So that could be one thing that influences it. But again, conversion rate was higher than category average. And I dive into it. I'm looking at all the campaigns, multiple different products, multiple different variations of these products. And the thing that I realized was, their CTR is down. Now, you wouldn't think that CTR is the biggest driver of like success on Amazon, but especially if your conversion is good, here was the issue that they were facing. They had a lower price point product. Cost per clicks were a little on the higher side, not the worst, but not ideal for that price point. Because of the low CTR, they were faced with two scenarios. They would either bid too low where they're not getting enough traction, they're not getting enough clicks, which isn't leading to enough sales. Like, remember, if they get the clicks, the conversion is there. Or the second scenario is they try to compensate for a lack of impressions and clicks with a higher bid, which ends up causing them to have a higher A cost and a higher total advertising cost of sale, which goes into their margins. So what do they end up doing? Super aggressive bid optimizations. Bids go down, clicks go down, placements get all messed up, and then their sales go down. All of that stemmed from a CTR issue. Their CTR was on average like 0.35 to 0.4%. When actually, no, it was like 0.3%. When if they just triple their CTR, which when you say it out loud, sounds easier said than done. But if you triple your CTR, you literally triple the amount of clicks and then triple the amount of sales for one small lever that you turn. Understanding the data, understanding how to read the data, and understanding the levers that you need to pull after you read the data is what truly makes a successful Amazon seller. Imagine you don't understand any of that. Actually, I'll tell you what happened. I already explained to you what would happen. If you don't understand any of that, you have this issue where you're lowering the bids. So interesting. So how did they improve CTR? CTR is driven by, also, it's so funny when people leave comments like that, and then I click on their profile, it says follow back. Nope. We said that we're not going to make the offer in 2026, so I'm going to try to stick to that. Anyways, actually, I'll do you a favor, brother. You don't need to follow me anymore. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Bada boom, bada bing. We're going to see how far into 2026 we can go without making the offer. All right. How do you improve the CTR? CTR is driven by a few metrics. I'm going to get to the YT question. What up, my guy, next gen? CTR is driven by price, reviews, both the amount of reviews and the star rating, the title, and the image. If I had to rank it in importance, I would say reviews up to a certain point is number one. Once you pass a certain review threshold, assuming you have a good star rating, what then becomes number one is your main image. So optimizing those. That's not even the same screenshot. What are you going to do? It's all good. If your product is $30 product, do you recommend pricing it at 20 or 22? No, I don't. I'm not one who significantly lowers the price in the beginning. I like to, one of two things. I'll actually, you always test. So what I'm about to say isn't a blanket answer on what everybody should do every single product launch. Because sometimes I'll lower price a little bit. But what I like to do in a perfect world is I'll actually launch at a little bit of a higher price, establish a few sales, lower the price to what I want it at. So then I have the strike through price within for 30 days. And then I'll just sell it the price that I want. And then if I want to, sometimes I'll increase the price again, see how conversion lands. Now, where this scenario can change on a launch to launch basis is if you're not converting at that higher price. Okay, then let's test a lower price. Please, can you teach me this? That's what these labs are about, brother. Jay, thank you for the follow. So they were good, but bids were low. They increased it, and it didn't help because CTR was low. Yeah, so I'll explain it one more time. They either would bid too low, or actually, sorry, it's not even too low. It's where your bid should be, but because of the low CTR, they weren't getting enough clicks, which didn't lead to enough sales. Or you have the scenario of where you increase the bids to try to make up for that, the lack of clicks, but now you're bidding over what you should be. So let's say that you have I'm trying to do the math in my head, sorry. Let's say you have a $30 product with a dollar cost per click. Sorry, I had to do the math. Takes 10 clicks. No, I lost the mental math there. Let's move on. I was going to spend too much time trying to recoup that thought. Luke, do you use AI in infographics? No, I don't. And I don't even use like a professional studio. I use the same graphic designers who have been doing my images for quite some time. CH, thank you for the follow. As a beginner, is it advisable to run a $10 USD per day, 2 ads constantly and make 5-a-day changes? Wait, and make 5-day changes? You are on the right track. I would watch my ad strategy videos that I have on TikTok. I have playlists on Amazon ads. I have YT videos on it as well. You want to set up a few different campaigns. Start conservatively, conservative bids, conservative budgets, and you want to test it, and you do want to give it some time. But it's not always just based on time. It's also based on data. So let's say I sell a $30 product. Cost per click is $1 per click. If I start a campaign and within 3 days, I have 40 clicks, $40 in spend with 0 sales, I have enough data to know whether that keyword is going to work or not. So I would probably pause that. I wouldn't wait another 4 days. What do you do if you're not winning buy box rotation for one of your products? I do private labels, so I always win the buy box. 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Samia, thank you for the follow. Matt, thank you for the follow. Appreciate everybody who's following, asking questions. So just send the picture of the product to the graphic designer and he makes A+ content. Yes, sir. Brother, I'm trying to do FBA wholesale, but no brand is giving me approval. I have $15K budget. What should I do? Personally, man, wholesale is not for me. I'm not telling you not to do it. Do the business model that you want to do. With $15K, you have a big enough budget to do private label and still have a cash reserve on the side. I don't like wholesale. That does not mean you shouldn't do wholesale. That does not mean wholesale doesn't work. It's just not the business model for me. Doesn't align with my goals and lifestyle that I want to live. Yes, sir. What up, Greg? Yahiro, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. I have no idea what that is, Georgios or Hydra. Never heard of it. AMZ Masterclass listing creation is goated, son. No, but for real, I have not heard of that. Maybe listing creation, maybe AI. I don't know. It's delayed. It's AI. Listen, test everything. Maybe I haven't seen that, so maybe that's there. But all of the AI stuff that I've seen isn't there. Like if you have 100 people who use AI images, maybe a small percentage of them will work. So it's not like it's impossible for it to work. I just don't think at scale, like at scale, a good graphic designer can make 100% of the optimized great product listings. AI cannot currently make 100% of the optimized successful Amazon listings, in my opinion. Do you understand what I'm saying? So all of the listings that are fully optimized, that are the best converting, they were made by a graphic designer. But all of the listings that are the best and the highest converting were not made by AI. I launched my first product, and after some reviews, I launched auto campaign, getting 3 or 4 unit sales next. Nice. If you're profitable, if you got those reviews, start expanding on your ad strategy. How do you send clothes from China to the US? You'd either have your manufacturer ship it or contact a third-party freight forwarder, which is what I would recommend, because your manufacturer 9.9 times out of 10 is going to tax you and charge you more on shipping or not give you the best rate on shipping. So never will I have my manufacturer ship my products ever again in my life. Just joining, what's the initial investment? I would say 3 to 6K USD. Don't even, bro. I need to mute that too, Seller Stack. I forgot that you found a way to make that word viewable in the live because I actually muted that word in my live. But anyways, so the question is, somebody posted a screenshot of a 19K credit card bill and said you can start Amazon with 5. Now you're confused. I actually just made a video about it. How about we actually all listen to the video together, shall we? Just posted this. I think you guys, even if I play it for you right now, you should go watch it, like it, drop a comment what you think, but here it is. Bye. Let me restart it. Okay, so let's take two sellers. Go watch it. I just posted it, y'all. Go show it some love. Drop a like and drop a comment what you think about the scenario. Let me give you two real life examples of two sellers. Now, I will give a caveat to this. Time in the game, right? One of them is a professional, what you would call a professional Amazon seller. One of them is a beginner. But still, let me give you these two scenarios. One Amazon seller launches a product for $5,000. On their very first order, they were profitable on that product after ads. Then they placed a bigger order. They were profitable on that order after ads. And now getting ready to place an even bigger order. They were profitable after ads. Now, this seller, to launch a successful product without losing money, another caveat, there was more money than the initial $5,000 invested into this. But it was not because the business was at a loss. It was because the person had the capital to pretty much accelerate their success, okay? So I have to throw in these caveats. But this one seller with a product with 20 reviews has sold over $40K worth of a product profitably after ads, okay? Now let's take seller two. By the way, these are two real life sellers. This is not a made up scenario. So now seller number two. Seller number two launches multiple products at the same time and loses a lot of money on failed products, on Amazon ads, on a lack of listing optimizations. So this seller is in the hole $40,000. So remember, first seller made $40K in revenue profitably. The second seller lost $40,000 selling on Amazon. Now, both of these sellers give advice on the internet to people. All right? One is telling you, hey, with these strategies, if it's done right, you can start with this much money. But remember, oh, sorry, I messed up the whole scenario. This person did inject more money into the business. That was on a successful product. It was not because of a failed product. This other seller who lost money just so happens to be telling you, hey, you need way more than $6,000. You might need $20,000 to start selling on Amazon. Very ironic because they lost $40,000 selling on Amazon. So of course they would say that you need more money. I'll leave it up to you. You don't even have to answer in the chat. I'll leave it up to you which seller has the correct perspective. So just like my last video that I posted, like I said, go drop a like, watch the video, and let me know in the comments what you think about it, not including pinned videos. It's the one about sellers that you shouldn't listen to. You shouldn't listen to everybody just because they have a phone and a voice on the internet. I think that goes for business, for life, for opinions, for everything. Just because it's a video, somebody made a video about it, does not make it correct. All information is not created equal. There's some people who say, maybe this is exaggerating, but there's some people who say that the earth is flat. They made a video, there's content out, they made content on it. Maybe they got a lot of followers, a lot of views. Does that make it correct? No, it does not make it correct. So, some guy told me look for high demand, low competition on Jungle Scout. Bro, don't get me, Seller Stack, you're new here, bro. Dang, brother. You're getting me on a rant. Just, I won't spend too much time on this. I'm not going to spend time looking for the videos. Seller Stack, message me because I'll never message you guys first. Caveat, if you ever get a message from me first, if I ever follow you, it's not me. But you send me a message on this profile. Make sure it's this one that I'm on live on. It's my only profile. I'm going to send you some videos once you message me on the exact seller that you're talking about. Listen, it's a bad look to talk bad about people. I'll even the person that I was just talking about, I'm not saying any names. This one, I will say a name. If it looks bad on me, then it looks bad on me. But if you ever see videos from Operation Ecom, they are incorrect. I did a whole series on. I've maybe made 10 videos on products where he says this is a great product because Jungle Scout, my software, tells me high demand, low competition, and then with data, not my opinion, objective data, I show you this is why it's not a good product. And then I actually, him and I beefed. He blocked me on his account, his alternative account. He blocked my travel channel on his regular one. So yeah, I can't, no more videos about him. But yeah, I invited him onto a live. The same guy who says you don't need to run ads on Amazon. I've done 2 mil, blah, 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 with 0 ads. You just need a good product, but you don't need to differentiate. Just click, copy, paste what everybody else is doing. I've never met a successful Amazon seller that I personally knew. Ecom Side Hustle, Brandon Young, Kevin Pack. I've never met anybody who has seen his videos, because they've all made comments on it, who have said, oh man, that's really good information, or yeah, that strategy could work. Not a single person. So we'll stop talking about people, because that's not what this live is about. But yeah, just again, the moral of all of these stories, all information is not created equal on the internet. In fact, vet my information. I tell you, hey, this is what you should do. If you haven't followed me, you haven't been in the lives, you don't know the kind of information that I give, vet it. Go vet the information. Go fact check it. Go cross-reference it. Maybe not with some buster sellers, but you know what I mean. Because man, there's a barrier to entry to be a successful Amazon seller. You need a successful product. You need to have made sales, profitable, successful on your ads. There is no barrier to entry to teach people how to sell on Amazon. You could have lost $40,000 and not have made a single dollar, and you're the voice of Amazon teaching people. So, and people will listen. That's just that's the internet. Welcome to it. Should I sell fake clothes? No, absolutely not. Appreciate your answer, brother. Could you please suggest me some way or product category which is very good for selling it? Bro, go watch you're on the YT channel. Go watch my videos on YT, how to do product research. I have a lot of them. Trying to be a middleman and doing this FBA and Amazon is just a job in which someone else profit, manufacture, learn another skill, which actually make money. I'm glad that you brought this up. Hopefully you're still in the live. You actually proved my point, very much so, when I talk about different business models on Amazon. So what you just explained is arbitrage and wholesale. You quite literally are the middleman. You might as well be a sales rep for Nike. You're selling Nike products. You have a warehouse. You have thin margins, and you're building no equity in anything. Like, nobody's going to buy your business where you resell Nike or Adidas products. Again, smaller margins than owning the actual business. And you're really just increasing Nike's brand equity or Colgate's brand equity or Lego, nothing of your own. You're not building anything. The business model that I do on Amazon is quite different. I have my own brands. So I'm not comparing myself to the size of these companies, but I am Nike. I am Adidas. I'm not reselling those products. So when I sell $100 worth of my own brand, not only do I make $100, but I also increase the equity on something that I own, the value of something that I own. If you do $1 million a year with a wholesale business, so you're ungated for Nike, you're ungated for Adidas, Lego, whatever, and you do $1 million a year at your average 10% profit, nobody's going to buy your business. Why? Like, let's say that you were somehow able to sell for a 5x multiplier. Why would I spend $500,000 on a business when I can go get a warehouse, $3K a month, $5K a month? Why would so I can buy a warehouse. I can just go get wholesale contacts and literally use the money that I would buy, use a fraction of the money that I was going to buy the business with to just buy the inventory from a wholesaler. There's nothing proprietary about it. Now, let's say I start my own shoe company. I would never start a shoe company, but I said Nike, so let's compare apples to apples. If I start my own shoe company and I do $1 million a year because it's my own company, I'm going to have higher margins on average. So let's say 30% profit. So not only did I make $300,000, but for somebody to come in and replicate that, like what does that take? What if I have a strong brand presence on like IG, on TikTok? You know, I have influencers repping my brand. Like I have the brand trust, right? And then I have a machine where there's already the systems. You have the manufacturing and distribution. You have the brand name. You have the system where literally like you take over and you start making profit. Somebody would buy that. So now all of a sudden, you're looking at something that's doing 300K in profit, sell for a 5 to 10x multiplier. You're creating value. The difference between the two is apples and oranges. One more thing that this person mentioned, they might not even be in the live but anymore, but I think it's a great point, is that with those other ones, you're it's a job. It's a job. You pull up to the warehouse, you got employees, you got your pallet jack, your forklift. If you're doing retail arbitrage, you're going into store, you're scanning items and all of these different things, yada, 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 yada. With what I do, I don't touch the product. I don't ship the product. I don't label the products. I don't do anything. It's not drop shipping. Very, very different. I market the product across accounts 4 to 6 hours a week on Amazon. So night and day difference. Can I sell Amazon products from Pakistan? Yes, I know people who live in Pakistan who sell on Amazon US. I'll just call him that guy. Yes, thanks so much for your explanations. I got you. Iman, thank you for sharing the live. Hi, brother. Can you check? I have a message. I'll check it out. And I always come here to ask about this. I don't know where else to go. Hey, man, this is why I do the lives. The issue with Amazon ads, I launched 3 products, very high demand. How many reviews do you have? I know your criteria and it's the same as other sellers, and there's other with his stuff. I like the guy he's now working for. Won't name names, but I'm surprised he made you know who a mentor. Oh, man. I have my own opinion. Listen, next topic. But I will say this. Let's not talk negative about anyone. Let's talk positive about some people. There are 3 Amazon creators on TikTok, at least, that I would ever watch content from. If it was not one of these 3, so I'm speaking for myself. What you all want to do, who you want to watch, who you get your advice from, whatever, that's on you. I in fact, use all the resources you can. I'm going to tell you the 3 creators that I would watch content from. If you can ask me, what about this person? What about this person? If it's not one of these 3 people, the answer is I'm not watching. Number 1, you probably guessed it, Luke Basha. What a surprise that is. Number 2, I'll give flowers to other people. We don't have to talk negative of other people, not about this name I'm about to say. Ecom Side Hustle. That's another person. That's number 2. Number 3, Jason Hoy. If it's not one of those 3 names, I'm not watching their content, yo. Yes, he was number 2, FB. Yes. He was number 2. If it's not one of those 3, that's going to be a no-go from me, big dog. See, Urgent, thank you for sharing the live. Have you seen any decline since TikTok Shop arrived? Yeah, for sure. It peaked in 23. It's still good, but that was peak TikTok Shop. Can I sell Amazon products from Pakistan? Answer that yes, you can. Do you see Amazon removing review count? I saw something on this. I have seen it a little bit, yeah. Not at like scale with everybody, but I've seen it with a few people. I'm going to message you in a minute. Need some feedback. I got you, bro. You could probably sell fake clothes as a hustle, just not on Amazon. No, let's get in trouble. Is it your own product? Yes. I launched 4 products this month, went live, sold 20 in the first month, but the goal is to sell 100 plus a month. Do you help with that? Yes, I do. And congrats on 20 units sold. Can I sell on Amazon? I answered that. Junior, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Musa, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you as well. I'm in US. I want to start business in Amazon. Where to start? How much capital? Where to start? Go watch my free course on TikTok. It's on a playlist on my TikTok profile. Free AMZ course A to Z. You'll see full step-by-step. How much capital is needed? 3 to 6K USD. Jason underrated. Yeah, for sure. I met Jason in 2023. Sweetest dude I've ever met. Jason Ecom's guy with the glasses. Yes, it is. Super cool dude. Yeah, he's cool. Oh, sorry. You know what? I said 3, but I was thinking TikTok creators. Caution, I'll give you that one too. Brandon Young. That's another name that we got to give flowers to, by the way. If you ever see content from he's more a YT guy. That's why I didn't mention him. He's legit. He's the owner of Data Dive. His brands do like 12 million a year last year in 2025. How often do you go live? Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday. Thank you for their courses free. The one in my TikTok, yes. My mentorship program, no. But the one on my TikTok, which it's like 8 videos, 40 something minutes, that is free. I don't know. I don't really follow. I know that there's one creator. He has like 9K followers. Fellow brown boy, and I think like 9K or like 11K followers. I don't follow him, but he makes decent content. Off the top of my head, don't remember his name. Mentorship is how much? 3K. I follow Brandon on TikTok. I think I'm his only viewer because he doesn't get any likes. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not optimized. He doesn't try for TikTok. I mean, he's too. Yeah, he definitely tries on the YT side. That's where he gets his name, but not from TikTok. It's funny, people like that won't get follows, but then scammers will get millions of followers. You, yes, sir, Mika. Yeah, 100%, Georgios. But because here's the problem: how does the internet work? What, like, keeping it real? And I guess I can't speak for everyone here, but I would guess a majority of you, if I were to look at all the videos that you watched, a majority of them are like flashy, high attention grabbing, controversial, or like emotional, whether that makes you happy, sad, angry, whatever, right? It's that kind of content. Not as much analytical, like here's how to sell on Amazon, here's how to run your Amazon ads. One does good. That's why, who are the biggest quote unquote gurus? It's the ones who flex the most. I'm not talking smack. Some of them are legit. I'm not trying to say anything negative, but it is. It's the one who, you show the nicest car, you show the nicest watch, you show the best collection. It's going to obviously help with views, attention, following. That's what drives attention. But then that like niche analytical information. I'm going to ban that word too. That word's banned in here too, Seller Stack. Sorry, Victorious. Let me get to this. Trying to answer that. My friend is a manufacturer of women's dress in a large scale, and he sells to many shops and business. I suggest him going online, but the laws like tax and banking, he does not understand. And how can selling directly? He gave me in charge. Go watch I have videos on YT, step by step, how to sell on Amazon. But yeah, man, we gotta actually think. Let's ban that word right now. You guys think I'm kidding. I actually have banned words on my live. So we're going to ban that one right now. Let's go to settings and let's go to muted words. Or moderate. There we go. That word's not allowed. No association. Comment. There we go. Not banned. Wow. Wait, what do you mean? No, not the person. The person's not banned. The word is banned. You can ban words from chat. I just forgot how to do it. I'll do it later. Anyways, let's move on to Amazon questions, not asking about other people. But go watch that last video. Last thing on that topic, go watch that last video, drop a like, and leave a comment on what you think about my little rant that I give in my last Tiki Talk video. I think that, well, we'll leave it at that. If you had to restart, what business model would you do? Amazon FBA private label. I literally would not, if I had to restart, there's not a single thing that I would do differently. I mean, different products. I would launch different products because what I launched in 2019 isn't what I would launch today. But outside of that, same business model, same approach. Wouldn't do anything different. But that's what worked for me. So there's no magic answer for anybody in life. Like, I think there's the concept of the muse. Do you have a YT or any way I can learn this live? My TikTok. I have over 1,500 free videos on TikTok, so make sure y'all are following. And yes, my YT channel as well. Even more in-depth videos on there. And then shameless plug, the AMZ Masterclass, the Harvard of Amazon private label education. Oh, bro, this guy's only selling a course. You could find this information for free on the internet. Yeah, like I said, over 1,700 free TikTok videos, 1,600 YT videos. I'm also the guy who's putting the information out for free. Just throwing that out there. If I put my time and energy, will I profit? Like, I take $5 a piece, and how much time will it take until it kickstarts? I mean, only God himself can answer that in terms of, I guess you didn't ask it in a bad way. Can you be? Yes. Will you be? Only God can answer that. Clothing is not a category that I personally would enter, but that's just me. Hi, thank you for the follow. Message you, bro. I'll get to it after. You can help me with your experience. I'll give you half of everything I get. How does that sound? Doesn't sound appealing to me at all, but I appreciate it. I get this offer a lot, guys, and something that you guys have to realize is somebody at the level that I'm at right now, what benefit is it? Oh my gosh, hold on. I have to mute this. What benefit is it to me to partner up? And I'm answering this very harshly, but just keeping it 100. What benefit is it to me to partner up in an Amazon business with somebody? Capital's not an issue. Like, I don't need someone to be like, I'll fund the entire business, give you half. I just need all of your knowledge. The most valuable thing to be successful on Amazon. So a good partnership stems from somebody else has a weak point, or excuse me, a strong point that's your weak point. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, if you're terrible at logistics, but you're partnering with someone who's great at logistics and product development, and maybe you're really good at product research and marketing, that would be a good fit. But if capital is not an issue, if skill isn't an issue, like, what value does bringing a business partner come to me? And that's not me trying to be arrogant. That's a lesson. If you're going into business with anybody, you shouldn't just go into business with your homie, or because you don't want to do it alone. You're scared to take the chance on your own. No, it has to be a good fit. Like, if your strong point is both product research and both AMZ or Amazon ads, that's not a good partnership. Amazon FBA over dropshipping, in my opinion, yes. Bro, no disrespect, but I really thought you were Max Holloway. No disrespect taken. Max, one of the GOATs. That's a first. I've gotten Nipsey Hussle. I've gotten Snoop Dogg. I've gotten Colin Kaepernick. I've gotten Rudy Gobert, which I don't even know who that is, but not Max Holloway. Jane, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Luke, if this Amazon stuff doesn't work out for you, you could doppelgang a lot of celebrities. Thanks. Yeah, for real. What exactly is it that you do? I sell products on Amazon. Is it a good idea? I could be like, when you go to like New York or Vegas, the characters dressed up. I could just be RIP. I could just dress up as Nipsey, take a picture with Nipsey. Is it a good idea to sell knit sweaters? No, in my opinion, no. Clothing is not solid. Who blocked my 5K? We're at 6.1K likes, so we're there. How much capital do I need to start? 3 to 6K USD is what I say. Snoop Dogg, DOGG, you already know. Y'all make sure to go show some love to my last few videos. I posted some gems today, and I will be posting some more too. So make sure you guys go check those out. Last video, oops, sorry, that was loud. Last video, absolute gem. If you haven't already, you'll get a kick out of it. What's the reason for no to clothing? Highest return rate on Amazon. Expect like minimum 25% on average return rates. Just multiple different variations, which is super annoying. Like, okay, you have the pink top and it has to be extra small, medium, large, extra long. Like, it's not the amount of work that you put in for that versus like just a regular product, and the amount of returns and headache, which cuts into your margins, by the way. Generally, the ones who are most successful with clothing, and on Amazon, you don't even see the big brands. Like you see Nike and stuff, but that's people doing wholesale. Like you don't see the Gymsharks, the Alpha Elites. I was talking about the guy spamming. He was going to give me 5K. Oh, sorry, Alex. My bad. My bad, bro. So the big brand, like two people break into clothing, creating a big brand, but those people aren't on Amazon. Like I operated a 6-figure clothing brand and I didn't sell my products on Amazon. I was successful on Amazon at that point, but no. Or you're a manufacturer, which then you can, you see the reason I didn't sell on Amazon is because I did like women's clothing. We were affordable women's clothing compared to the Gymsharks and stuff, but not compared to Amazon. And like we'd sell a pair of leggings for, I think at the time, like 25 or 25 bucks. Whereas like on Amazon, you could get a 6-pack. Have you ventured in things outside of Amazon? Yeah, we sell on Shopify, TikTok Shop, Walmart online. If you're talking about other businesses, yeah, operator, part owner, silent partner, I guess, in an AI business, and then not like creating a new AI, by the way, it's like creating AI agents, and then real estate. I told you I'm manufacturing knit sweaters with 15 employees. Well, then, yeah, if you can, at that point, you're playing the price game. If you can play the price game since you're a manufacturer, then it's a different story for you. When did you learn while you scaled, not when starting? What did you learn while you scaled, not while starting? How to understand data. You weren't here. It was early in the live, but I was talking about a scenario that I encountered when auditing a big Amazon account as a favor to somebody. Not understanding how to read that data makes you make the mistakes that they were making. And they were on the decline in a business that should have been on the incline, by the way. Like there's no reason in the world that business doesn't see year over year growth every single year. But for the last 2 years, they saw a decrease, about a 14% decrease year over year. So sort of like data analytics, yeah. If you don't understand that, you might as well be following a treasure map that a 5-year-old drew for you blindfolded while you're looking for the treasure map blindfolded. Can you choose which state you want to base your LLC, or is it the state you live? Technically, it's the state that you live in, but also there's people that I know who do not operate. Well, yeah, are in different states. And auto part selling, not a fan of that either. What did you find wrong? They were ignoring their CTR issue, which ended up causing them to get a lack of clicks, which ended up leading to a lack of sales, or where they would spend too much for cost per clicks and they weren't profitable on their ads. Do you fulfill your own orders through Shopify? No. How long did it take for you to start making money? Right away. Now, I didn't take any of that money until a year into operating the business, but I was profitable right away. On that note, everybody, it has been a great live. Y'all make sure to go show some love to my last few videos, especially the last one. It's a gem. I want everyone to leave a comment on what you think about that story that I told. And no, Kat, that sounds like me right now. Yeah, I'll check out your DM after. And for those who wanted direct access to me as your mentor along your entire Amazon journey, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you all, God willing, tomorrow.